Ladies and gentlemen, you know what? When you're doing something that's good and there's anything that could be done to interrupt it, it'll happen. A few moments ago, in fact, it was about 18 minutes, I got to talking to you, sharing with you some good old spiritual stuff. And it was dynamite. Oh my goodness, it was absolutely dynamite. There was clarity in the truth that I was sharing, the truth that had been shared with me. And do you know when I was ending it, I was so happy and thrilled. And then I looked at it and I didn't have the mic on. So I didn't take one audio. Now, can I do that again? Can I look at that as a practice? Well, all I wanted to say, and I'll try to say it again, is this. What I want all people to know, all people, is that God exists and that God is good. And the evidence of it is we are on an earth that's good. All of its resources, good. And we the people, good. The difference between we as people and other things that God has created is that we have a role to play. And that is choice. I keep thinking about oftentimes we hear people talk, especially nowadays, about blackness, about God's original people, the black man. And we're getting all kind of information that sometimes can make you wonder if it's coming from the spirit, because it seems as if though they're trying to antagonize by saying God is blessing the black man, come payback, something like this. And I want you to know that anything that sounds anything like that has nothing to do with God. That's man, man. And I want you to remember that that's man. And I want you to know that it was designed this way for you to live as though you are in heaven. Always God's plan to be fulfilled, to be satisfied, needs, wants, and desires met. My friends, this is possible because you have been designed to play a role in the process of causing a manifestation of thy will being done on earth as it is in heaven. I tell you right now, as I'm saying this to you, I keep hearing flashbacks of what I'd done earlier, and it makes me almost want to stop. But I don't know if I'll ever get another chance. So even if I can't make it sound half as dynamic as before, let me at least give you what I got. You see, because it's absolutely true, ladies and gentlemen, that we have to play a major role in what is going to be on this earth. Right now, God is not running the show on earth as we know it. And God has the ultimate power. So everything that's going on, God got it. It's like he got the whole world in his hand, good and evil, sitting there. That kind of control. But the control of life, it has nothing to do with the evils of man. That is man's choice. That is man's choice. Man's choice requires that there is deception. Man's choice requires that there's lying and cheating and stealing. Man's choice requires that there's hatred, racism, and bigotry, that there's terror, perhaps even war. That's man's choice. God's choice is that you have peace and prosperity, freedom, joy, and happiness, that you fulfill, satisfied, and that you can live your dreams. And that because you participate, each of you participate in life, given your own choice, something that you love, that gives you joy, that allows you to participate in what you're doing. God has it so interconnected that everything that you, the people, have determined are absolutely necessary to meet your satisfaction, the reservoir of goods and services overflowing, and no one will ever have a need to suffer lack thereof of anything. That's God's way of doing things. Everybody satisfied. No deception, no lying, no cheating. And when you think about that, ladies and gentlemen, the question should come to your mind, Why don't that exist today? As I was saying, black people are supposed to be we are finding out the original man. But again, being first comes with responsibilities. You become a leader. You become something that your siblings watch, observe, and they follow you. They're not necessarily listening to the parents. The wonderful thing here is that you listen to your parents. And if you're not listening to the parents, here again, the whole thing gets messed up. And that appears to be what has happened. The whole thing gets messed up. But that doesn't mean we can't try to come back. That doesn't mean that we won't come back. In fact, the challenge is always there because we're never satisfied until we get there. And while we're not there, every kind of thing is going on. Stress and dying and everything, you name it. I was thinking about the times and earlier, let's say in the 50s and 60s, maybe some 70s, when people were standing up, they were fed up with the crap they'd been going through. They were fed up with the lies that they had imposed on them. They're going to get them off. And they started protesting, resisting. There were some that were more committed than others. And those that were more committed, like Dr. King, Malcolm Medgar Evers, and so many others that I don't even know the name of them because there are so many that were killed because they represented truth. Just like what's going on today. You got Trump running all over the country. It should be a major embarrassment. Nobody wants to hear Trump say anything because to them, he represents nothing but corruption. Corruption. And he doesn't even see it. He still think he got something going on. But it's the same thing that happens with the world. The world is all about corruption. It is all about corruption, pain and suffering, lying and cheating, hatred and racism, bigotry. All of this comes since it started, since man started doing his own thing. And that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen, is man doing his own thing. And people buy into it for all of the different reasons that they do buy into it. But that doesn't change the truth that says the heavenliness that was designed for you from the beginning of time is still there waiting for you. And when you get it, it's because you make a choice. Nobody's going to give it to you. They will forgive you when they find out you recognize that maybe you've gotten off track and you want to get back on track. You can be forgiven, but not because you're just saying words. Nobody's accepting words. You got to have the receipts. And so, ladies and gentlemen, what we're trying to say today, when we look at Dr. King and those brothers that got killed, just think about those others that were around them, other preachers, other people with other organizations. What would have happened if they, when Dr. King, these people got killed, if they just stepped right in and took over and kept on doing the movement, bringing a better day ahead for the nation? What would have happened as opposed to being bought by the powers that have been oppressing them? To open up all those organizations and pretend like they helping black people by coming into little whatever plans and proposals you got out there, and you think that you're doing something. You think you're leading them someplace. You're not doing anything but keeping them right there where they have been all the time. And I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, that if God, and I can, because I can see a lot of things that I don't want to say right now because it take up too much time. If God is leading it, and if you are following God's path, if you are in alignment with God, there will be no line. There won't be nothing but heavenliness. Nothing but heavenliness. And anytime you are anywhere and you find some fault in something because it's causing some pain, you're causing some suffering, if it's hurting somebody, it is not of God. I don't care if they're telling you God sent them to hit you side the head with a brick. That's a lie. God got another way to do it. I'm going to tell you this. Before God tell another brother to hit you beside the head with a brick, God will drop a brick out of heaven. God's not going to tell you to go do something he told you not to do. But man will, because he don't understand God. And that's one of the major problems. Well, that's the major problem. So I guess what I wanted to say, ladies and gentlemen, I don't feel as fulfilled as I did a moment ago because I got into it a moment ago. This time, there was recall. Before, it was just natural. Now it's recall. I probably, if I had just put it off and didn't do it at all, Next time would have been a recall. But I'm not promised the next 5 minutes. I am not promised that. So if I got a chance to do what I can do right today, right now, because you, the people, you need it, whether you have this version or another version. You need it. You want it. You just don't know you want it, but you will, because you will. I want to think that out of all of the billions, I would think billions of people that's been on Earth, I'm sure there have been many billion, and people have passed on out of here, and many of them perhaps didn't know anything about God. But that's nothing for you or I to stress ourselves about what happened. That's not for us to stress ourselves about. We are supposed to be satisfied now by protecting ourselves through the process of caring about one another as we would want others to care about us, which is reflective of our respect for the power that we can't see. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time.